Okay, right now I've finished soldering the edges of my pieces. You can see the edges are built up quite a bit, and I'm just taking some of the flux remover and washing my pieces off. It doesn't take very much flux remover, just a little bit soaked into a rag, and you can clean all these pieces. The flux remover goes a long ways. Usually when I'm done washing pieces with the flux remover, I'll just rinse them with clear water real quick, just to make sure I've removed any residue from the soap in the flux remover solution. Another thing, when you're cleaning your pieces, I do like to use a paper towel, because when I'm cleaning the pieces, if there is a tiny little burr or sharp point or something that I didn't see, or that's kind of hidden, the paper towel will kind of pick up a tuft of paper towel on that, and it kind of, shows me where the sharp points are. If you get to this point and you find a sharp point, and you don't have to go back and resolder it, you can just take a little file, and just the tiniest little bit of pressure will remove a burr or a sharp point, and then you have a nice smooth piece that doesn't cause you any problems at all. So one more thing I want to kind of show you the difference. I mean, you could probably hear it. When you, before I soldered, you've got the texture, your edges are just plain. It's a very thin piece of metal. You can hear that, how light that sounds. This is about the same size piece with the soldered edges. You can hear how much more mass just soldering the edges makes. A very thin sounding and a substantial sounding piece of metal. So this really does do a very good job of making it a lot more sturdy, so that it doesn't bend very easily, and it kind of gives it that real cool layered texture of its own when you put it around the edges like this. So once you're done cleaning your pieces, we will go on to the aging solution, and I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to use the Novocaine Black Patina solution for solder. It gives you that very nice aged look, like it's been around for a very long time. Or you can just leave your pieces shiny like this. But I've noticed that it does help to kind of pick up the texture quite nicely when there are some dark recessed areas. So for this, you want to be wearing your gloves and your eye protection. And you just dip a paintbrush in it, and you just brush it over your piece. Brush that over, and it will automatically start reacting and turning that solder black. And the longer it stays on there, the darker it will be. Just make sure you get down in all those little nice textured areas. Read your safety precautions on this stuff. It's pretty volatile, pretty nasty stuff. Always cover your work surface, read the safety precautions, follow them. You don't want to get this on your skin or in your eyes, but once it dries, it is safe to use. So it's safe for jewelry and things like that. Set that to the side. I'll go ahead and do my cuff bracelet piece. Take your time, don't splash. It's going to look really neat. See, it turns automatically. And anywhere that you don't brush this on is going to be silver, so make sure you get your edges and down inside those nooks and crannies very well. So leave that set to the side to dry. Take your time. Someone just messaged me. I forgot to turn my phone off. Isn't that a nice sound though? Okay, there's that, and I have one more piece that I'm going to do. And I think the rest, no, I think I'm just going to leave the triangles silver because I like how they look. And I'm going to make some earrings out of those. So the house with the key shapes is going to look really neat this way, so I'm going to do it too. We'll really pick up those key shapes. Okay, get those edges real good. Alrighty. I'm going to let those dry for a little bit, and after they're dry I'm going to show you how to really make that texture stand out with all that aged patina on it. Okay, so now that your pieces have dried, they look kind of like this. And to get the texture to really stand out, it's kind of like all dull. To get the texture to really stand out, I've already started on this piece. You can see how the texture, the light areas, the higher areas are lighter and the deeper areas are dark. And on this side I haven't done anything yet. So just take a scrub sponge. This one is dry. It's a Scotch-Brite sponge. And I just work it in circles. You don't have to push too hard. You don't want to bend your new metal piece. And you just work it in circles over your piece until you're happy with how it looks. And the more you scrub, the lighter it will become, even down in the recessed areas. Just keep scrubbing in little circles. And all that wonderful texture is really kind of going to show up quite well. So you can see how that texture just really looks nice on there. As opposed to the back, the way it looked before, you can see it just all kind of blends together. And this texture really pops out. So you can do that same thing on the back. And scrub and scrub. Don't forget your edges. I like to cup it in my hand a little bit so I don't bend it accidentally. These are fine for wearing, but you want to put tons of pressure on them unless you've really built up your edges really well, and then you don't even have to worry about it. It should be fine. So there we have the inside and the outside. And after I do this, I like to just rinse them real quick with a little bit of water. Not a lot. You don't scrub it when it's wet, otherwise you lose all of that. And if you end up rubbing too much off, then you can just add a little bit more Novocaine Black and and start over. It's not really a big deal. So really just rubbing over, and it will pull the black off the highest points and really pick up the highlights of your texture. I like to get a damp paper towel and wipe it if you prefer to do that. So it just really picks up all that texture really nice. Gives it that really cool aged industrial look. Scrub this off. This is the key house.